Welcome to the Field Museum in Chicago. Now behind me over here are the doors to the Field Museum vaults. Now these vaults are below the museum, they're underneath the museum. And in there it contains many anthropological artifacts. There's thousands of artifacts there. But among those thousands and thousands of artifacts, there's 4,000 artifacts that belong to the indigenous Igorots in the Philippines, my people, where I'm from. And they range from weaponry, shields, spears, knives, to kitchen utensils, to farming tools, to everyday living things. But about 4,000 of them are down there. And what I think is so cool about that is these artifacts, these tangible artifacts, help me connect to my roots. We all have roots, but we're just not connected to them. And that's sad. You know, I knew I was Igorot. My parents told me I'm Igorot. I was raised knowing I'm Igorot. But connecting to that, what is Igorot, it's difficult here in America. And things like this, these artifacts, things like partaking in cultural events and connecting to my ethnic roots, these things help me further connect to that identity of who I am. These tangible things. It's important to have something to help us connect us to our roots. A lot of people don't know really about who they are. There's that question that people always ask is, who am I? And by connecting to my roots, my ethnic roots, I'm able to understand more of who I am, who my parents were, who their parents were, my ancestry, the history of my people. It's that self-identity of knowing where I came from. That's what's so cool about having these artifacts here. But what's so sad though is these artifacts are hidden. They're not on public display. They're in these vaults, people take care of them. They take great care of them, but they're just not on public display. I think that's sad because these are the things that help us know, that help us connect to our roots. By connecting to my Igorot roots, I've come to understand and learn a lot about our culture, about how we ate, how we dressed, how we lived, the music that we played. And there's just so many things I was able to connect with. But you know, above all things, the biggest benefit I've gotten by connecting to my Igorot heritage is connecting to the values of my people, the values of my ancestry. And I learned that You know, we were so connected to the natural law. It's this natural law. It's a foundation that helps us connect to something greater, what I call the supernatural law, because my ancestry, my egret ancestry, connects me to the natural world. Well, someday I'm going to die, right? We all die, and what happens? Am I going to just continue to be an egret? No. That's where the supernatural world comes in, and connecting to the supernatural world is so important. And connecting to my egret ancestry helps me it inspires me to connect to my supernatural roots. And what is that? My Catholic roots. My mother was the first baptized Catholic. Her father was what we call in English a pagan shaman, or like a pagan priest. But because of her, he also converted to Catholicism before he died. So making that pretty new in our family. My father also, he's a first generation Catholic. When my parents became Catholic, it was before the 60s. They call pre-Vatican II. It was before all these changes, these novel changes happened in the 60s. And so when we moved to the United States, and we immigrated to the United States, that's about the time when the Catholic Church had already made these changes. And so I grew up with these changes. I grew up with the new Mass, the new sacraments, and everything else. There's very little I knew about what happened beforehand. There's very little that I knew. It's kind of like these artifacts back here. There's such a rich thing in my Catholic roots, such a plethora of rich things, but they were always kind of hidden from me. And one of the greatest things that's like been in the I'd say that, if you want to call it, the hidden vaults of the Catholic world, are the tangible thing. The biggest tangible thing is the liturgy. Known today as the traditional Latin Mass, I call it the Mass of Ages. This was the Mass that my parents grew up with. My father was an altar server. He served at these Masses. This is the Mass that all the majority of the saints grew up with. This is the Mass. These are the roots, this liturgy. And from there are just so many other things, a plethora of other things that have been in this kind of a vault or been hidden from me. And so what I like to do is I like to take certain things, and in oncoming episodes or oncoming videos, I like to show you a little bit about my ethnic heritage, a little bit about the things I didn't know, and then a lot about my supernatural heritage, which is my Catholic heritage, and connecting to those roots. Hey, this is Rex. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like how I use my Catholic roots, my indigenous egret roots, and my adopted American roots to navigate through life's messy waters, then hit the subscribe button. Also, hit that bell so you can stay notified whenever I do a new video. Until then, thank you very much, and God bless you.